Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to Native FX. Maybe a quick look at what we were focusing on today and the trades that we were actually focusing on. So today we were actually focusing on gold. So we were anticipating a sell on gold. The reason why we were anticipating a sell on gold, simple because we actually saw that last week on Friday it set our reset right here. After setting our reset, the dealer had a range for level 1 and the dealer had a range for level 2. And also the other thing, our level 1 appeared at 1775 um, quarter point, and we actually jumped to the 1800 quarter point. So we had our level 3 at 1812, level 3 at 1812, and yesterday we took some of the positions at that hesitation zone right there. So we're anticipating a sell. Remember, I told you that when we are going up, we have got this kind of a cycle whereby we are saying it's WVVM, and when we are going down, it's actually WMAAW. All right. So this is the kind of cycle that we're expecting. So we're actually expecting a sell on gold, and gold currently falling down very well. So now that we had anticipated a level 3 drop on gold, opening our 15 minutes time frame, we had a clean micro M yesterday. Clean micro M yesterday. We took positions there on that clean micro M yesterday, and the dealer came and pinned the 50 M, and then you went up. And remember what I told you, that if you have ascending legs on your TDI, simple means that it's the sharp fin within the boundary and the bounce on NPL. So if we have got that ascending, it means on the TDI, it's the opposite. So even if we are to turn our TDI over, you see for yourself that this is your first leg right here, this is your second leg right here, and that's your third leg right there. So as you can see that the dealer actually dropped down, and immediately when he was outside the volatility bands, he retraced back for an MPO bounce, and that's exactly what happened. Maybe you could have expected a turnaround at 50 EMA, but if the dealer didn't turn around at 50 EMA, he actually turned around at a quarter point right there. So sometimes these quarter points, they sometimes help you by telling you the possible areas where the dealer will actually turn off. So as you can see, I had actually placed my lines where the direction which I was actually expecting my trade to go. So we took a trade right there and it dropped down, so it did a retracement. So we're expecting that is going to give us a push as that retracement, and then it goes down again. That pin bar was actually another clear indication that showed us that the dealer had actually grabbed all the orders and hit those who were trailing stop losses and on that range right there. So as you can see, the shift bar candle actually pulled down and closed below 13 EMA. Some took their sales just now right here, and we're expecting that it's going to drop at least around 1800 somewhere there. So that's the possible area where we're expecting it to drop. And remember, it is also at level 3. It's also at level 3. So we're expecting that at least maybe today or tomorrow, the 50 and the 13 EMA are supposed to cross so that they lock our peak. So if that doesn't happen, then it means tomorrow we are going to have another stop and high again and a drop to facilitate that crossover. So it means today it's only a matter of a day trade, and then we close our positions unless if one wants to continue holding for longer periods of time. All right. This was USD card. This was USD card. So you can see our USD card right here. We actually had a level 3 there, and we had a drop into our level 1 range there, and we dropped into our level 2 range, and we marked the high of the week right there. But this was a temporary high of the week because it was a stop hand of the dealer, and it dropped. So we knew that we were expecting a level 3 on this day right here. As you can see, a nice W that actually facilitated a buy move, and we had a very nice buy move of our level 3. So I always tell people that don't worry about all these pullbacks that appear here. These pullbacks, they really don't have any influence as long as you are right in terms of the level count. Remember also what I told you. I said your LODs will appear at ADR low, or they're going to appear at yesterday's low, or they're going to appear at 200 EMA, each CTC. So you can see this one right here. We actually had an LOD that appeared at ADR low, and this was a nice type 1 London pattern where you were supposed to take your trade right there, or to take your trade right there, or maybe wait for a close above 13 EMA. So this was one of the clean trades for today. It was one of the clean trades for today. Opening our TDI had a very tight range, symbolizing that we had a consolidation, a very tight consolidation. Immediately when we bounced above the MBL right here, we showed signs of opening of our volatility bands, and the dealer pushed high up the range to the top. So that's also one of the things that you should have checked on USD Chef. And also we have USD Chef right here. USD Chef, we also did mark our levels, and we said this was our level 3 right there. I remember last week we marked it and we said this is our tight range of level 1 and the drop, and this was our tight range of level 2, and so we were really expecting our level 3 right there. So you can see this is our VVW, so we're expecting our type 3, and now the dealer is buying on that peak formation type 3 right there. All right, so as you can see that following a market trend is much more easier. Following a market trend is very much more easier. Look at AUDUSD. AUDUSD is dropping so well. If we are to mark our levels, taking this as our level 3, you'll see that our level 1 range will be somewhere around this area right here. That's where our level 1 range will be, and the dealer broke the level and came right back inside. So this is what we are going to call our level 2, and the dealer went up into our level 3. He came to form a reset. The reset was unconfirmed. As you can see, he kept on hitting that 70,000 large quarter point, major quarter point, and the dealer dropped down. So as you can see, the dealer is dropping down from a major quarter point. So this can even be a likelihood of a better setup for a very long time. All right, and we have GBP USD right here. GBP USD, I remember telling people that this is level 3, this is our level 1 right here. This is a tight range of our level 2 right there. As you can see, the dealer broke out of the level and retraced right back inside. So to me, I would take it, the dealer reversed it, and then he went right up. So to me, this is what I actually called my level 3. This was a longer leg because we're pushing for the third time. We're pushing for the third time, and it actually appeared at the hesitation zone, and now we are dropping down. So this is also one of the pairs that we're supposed to take today. And opening our 15 minutes time frame, you can see most of the GBP pairs, they gave good setups, and this was a type 1 of a range. And if we are to open our TDI, you can see from the TDI that as long as we were at the top of the MBA line, it was still on the stop and zone, and this was our first leg. The second leg actually appeared there, so that's where you could have taken your sell, or maybe taken your sell right there. So if you could have taken it maybe here or right there, it would be one and the same thing, and your stop loss of 15 to 30 pips, you will still be in a good point after all. So that was also one of the best opportunities. That was also one of the best opportunities today. And again, we are in level 3, so you can see that most of the pairs are actually in level 3 and dropping down. So those are most of the focus things that we actually need to look at. And Euro GBP as well, we are still expecting a very nice pattern on Euro GBP. As you can see right here, we have a shark in our first leg, the second leg that's bounced on MPL, so maybe there is a possibility that we can get something like this, and then we push higher. So if this closes as a doji, then we're expecting another point there. So it's more like they're retesting this pattern right here. So we're still expecting an upward move on Euro GBP. It's also a good chance that you can actually take after all. All right. So these are the cases that we are actually seeing today. So I thought maybe I should share some of these pairs that are actually on level 3 that maybe you can actually take a look at. In the time being, you can see GBP JPY actually dropped down very well. Also, it had a very nice pattern, also a very nice pattern from the 15 minutes time frame. As you can see right there, a very nice pattern. And if we are to open our TDI, you can see for yourself from the TDI that this was a very nice pattern and a very nice MBO bounce right there to symbolize the railroad on our second leg, the pin bar on our first leg right here, and that leg right there is a shark fin. So remember what I once told you, that our signature entry is that the first leg becomes a shark fin, and the second leg will be within the bands, and the third leg will actually be an MBO bounce. The third leg will actually be an MBO bounce. So that's also one of the things that you actually need to look at. That's also one of the things that you actually need to look at. So in general, most of the pairs are in level 3. Like I said, most of the pairs are in level 3. I remember I once told you about Euro NZD, and I told you that Euro NZD is actually in level 3. This is our level 2. This is our level 1. This is our level 3 right there. And it went up, and it actually consolidated and gave us a reset on M15, and it pushed down again to retest the low. So as you can see, it actually retested the low and it went up and came back again. So to me, this is what I call a 22 trade, because we've got 1, 2, 3 hits to the low. So I'm expecting an upward direction. Today it's a Friday, so since today it's a Friday, today it's a Thursday. So tomorrow I'll expect maybe an upward movement, and then we close on level 1. Then maybe I can expect level 2 and level 3 on the following week. I expect level 2 and level 3 on the following week. So the whole point is, normally during these consolidations, like I always advise people, you need to take them at their lowest points. So it means if you had missed this buy and maybe taken it from there, you were supposed to close your profits right here, or rather protect your profits. So, but if you had entered right on this position, you could hold. Why? Because you wouldn't suffer so much pips in a loss. That's what I always tell people, that normally you need to take your positions at the lowest point or the highest points. At the lowest point or the highest points. All right. So that's also one of the major things that you actually need to look at from the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see what's there from the 15 minutes time frame. It was simply a retest. It was nothing of a pattern that you should be pleased about. But looking at this became our first leg right there. This became our second leg right there. So we're expecting something like this. So it means we are still expecting a downward move, maybe a retest on the yesterday's low, and then we go right up there. So it's also one of the things that we are actually looking at to appear in the chart. So that's generally it. But our major pair was actually gold. As you can see, I told you that gold is going to drop until the 1800. Look at that. Gold has already dropped as low as 1800 until the ADR low. It has hit the ADR low, and right now it's actually doing a retracement, but it will still come back right back down here. So that's what I actually meant when I said that gold is supposed to drop. And remember, we actually left it was right here, and right now it has already dropped. So if you had your TP around that area, it means your TP is already hit. So that's that was a focus that we were expecting on gold, focus that we're expecting on gold so far today. So that's generally it about gold. So this means that looking at our H1, we now have a very good peak formation. We now have a very good peak formation. So if the dealer wants to form a reset, he's going to show us that he wants to form a reset. But if he doesn't want to form a reset, then he'll have to show us again that he doesn't want to form a reset. But looking at it, I'm expecting that maybe possible the dealer will drop down as low as that point here, will drop down as low as 1750, somewhere there. That's where I'm actually expecting the dealer to drop down to. Remember, the 200 EMA on H4 is actually the 800 EMA on H1. So all I'm trying to say is possibly I'm expecting gold to drop down as low as that point right there, which will be our level 3 and our level 2 and our level 1. I always tell people that gold actually follows the market mega cycle. Most people don't believe this, but gold actually follows the market mega cycle. You can see it right here. This was our level 3, this was our level 1, this was our level 2, our level 3, our peak reset, and after our peak reset, we pushed into our level 1, level 1 right here, and then we pushed into our level 2 right there, and then we pushed into our level 3 right there. We came back to a reset, then we pushed into our level 1, we pushed into our level 2, then now we are at our level 3. So in simplicity, we are simply trying to say on H4, we have moved 3 levels. On H4, we have moved 3 levels. So this cycle has already appeared on H4. So it means that that pullback, which is 1 ADR on H4, is going to be 3 levels on H1. That's the reason why I'm anticipating that our possible drop might be as low as the 800 EMA. So if you took gold, then expect that possibly we are going to drop as low as the 800 EMA. So that's also one of the things that we need to look out for. All right, so thank you very much, guys. So I just thought I should share this with you. I just thought I should drop this to you and then show you possibly what you are supposed to expect. So that is it in general about gold and other pairs that I actually showed you. You can see Chief JPY is actually dropping. Remember, Chief JPY always follows Euro USD, so the levels, they are always more or less the same, so they move together. That's the reason why you are seeing Chief JPY actually dropping right there from the level 3 point of view. So means we are expecting COT NZD to go up with Euro NZD. So it means the other NZD pairs we're expecting them to drop down. I haven't checked so far how much they will drop down, but we're expecting them to drop down. You can see NZD USD that was actually dropped down today, and we're expecting it to hit the ADR low. So that's generally the direction of the pairs. Most of the pairs are actually in level 3, so it means we are going to see a lot of safety trades tomorrow, or if the peaks are locked, or we are going to see most of pairs movement next week in the direction of the market. But our golden pair for this week was actually gold. So please keep an eye on gold and make sure that you follow the analysis. We've already hit the 1600, as you can see right there. So keep an eye on gold. We're expecting 3 levels of drop. So if you took it, we're expecting that it's going to drop for 3 levels. So it means that tomorrow, possibly maybe if gold crosses the market right here, it's going to retrace up to there. So we're expecting more or less a push up and then a drop down again for 3 more pushes, which is also 1 ADR for H1. So that's what we are actually expecting tomorrow. So thank you very much, guys. I thought maybe I should share this with you so that you can keep your mind in the game and your head in the game and know where exactly we are going with the trends. So since now you have a general bias of the trends, it's going to be easier for you to take your positions. And please remember again, we only take sell setups if we are going that direction, and we only take buy setups if we are going that direction. Never ever counter trend, never ever fall for these trades. Please, please, please never ever fall for these trades. Always trade in the direction of the cycle. If you catch your peak formation, trade away from the peak formation. If you catch your peak formation low, trade away from the pip formation law. That's the rule, and you should never break it because you don't know for how long the dealer will pull back, and you don't know the number of pips the dealer will take before he reverses. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening. Enjoy.